And then I've got Ludington behind you, and then Muscatawa over there.
Ah, nice.
So that's Grand Rapids to Muskegon at least. So yeah, I've got most of the way from Grand Rapids to Ludington mapped out.
Nice, just on the walls alone.
I'm just missing Oceana County.
Yeah, that part's kind of hard to traverse.
I mean, no disrespect to Oceana County, but I feel like their bicycle map might just be one straight line, and that's the Hart Montague Trail.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And then it's just back roads from there to the rest of it.
There's probably some... is Fremont in Oceana County? I don't remember. I think so.
Yes.
Welcome back to the Wheel Friends podcast, the comedy podcast that exists in the world of bicycling. I'm your host, Craig Richards. Joining me today, as always, our buddy, Stephen Spear.
Hi.
Do you want the full name? Should I censor the middle name? Am I doxing you?
Bleep out the middle name. Jesus. Well, I don't want them to know that I'm...
Hey, where'd you go to high school, and what's your mom's maiden name? You know, for the security questions. Those are the two that get me every time.
I'm not answering those. I'm not putting that on the internet.
So yeah, well, I don't know how to...
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has been a minute
since you've done anything.
But yeah, basically, it turns out shopping for a house, and then packing for moving your house, and then moving your house, and then unpacking your house, and then settling into your new house takes like way more time
Who knew?
than I ever could have imagined. But I mean, I want to thank everybody who has still been listening in the meantime. Downloads have been coming in. We're getting them. We're hooking them.
People are still getting.
Thank you so much for your diligence.
It's still tasty out there.
Yeah.
We
still got good biking.
Yeah, there's some good back content to check out.
How you been biking, Steve?
A lot, actually. I've been keeping it up through the fall, even in the rainy days. I'm still trying to make it to work on my bike.
Your Instagram story, it looked like you appeared at a crossroads between gravel and pavement.
Oh, yeah. Most of us in Grand Rapids are familiar with that, like on the other side of Reed's Lake.
Oh, is that Reed's Lake?
Yeah, where it splits off between that seasonal road. Usually we go down either one of those hills.
I prefer to climb that gravel than to climb Hall Street.
Oh, yeah, climbing the gravel is fun. So that was... my morning was I went for a ride around Reed's Lake just to stay loose. And yeah, there's that thing, like the crossroads where you need to go up that Hall Street hill or whatever that is. Go like up that seasonal road, which seasonal road, they're doing like construction on somebody's property there. So at a certain point, it's like, ooh, gravel fun. And it's a little wet because it's been like raining out.
Yeah.
But then at a certain point, it was just like mud, like immediately just like mud all dug out by like machinery and stuff. And like just like tire, like industrial tire track type stuff, you know. So I was like, oh god, like here I'm fooling around, like taking a Snapchat story while I'm riding, and I'm like,
gravel road.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh cool gravel, like on that stuff, and then I'm like, oh shit, it's mud. I like threw my phone in my basket. Baskets are excellent.
Nice.
I'm really digging the cargo life these days. The rack on the back and the basket on the front.
Yeah, we actually went down that last week on the Wednesday evening ride.
Well, usually I only go down it. I never decide to climb it.
It was fun bombing it because, like you said, it's all like gutted out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's all washed out too from like the rain that we've had.
It was
on, like one side, so you gotta like watch it. Going down, you gotta watch it. If I decided to go down it today, I might have wiped out on that mud because it came out of nowhere. Like it comes like out of. I'm glad that I saw it climbing. Because it's seriously like you're around a bend and then it's mud. And if you're going fast down that, you'd be like, oh shit. And then like you might, I don't know, I'm not that great with loose terrain, so I'd probably wipe out.
10 out of 10.
Right? That's the rags part of the rags to riches ride.
It must have been.
I think so. Because it's mostly riches when we do that ride. You're just riding through East Grand Rapids looking at houses you can never afford.
Yeah. I'm done looking at houses.
Yeah, speaking of looking
We're in the new studio space.
It's cozy in here. Nice. As we were discussing earlier, there's like maps of just like roads, but of bike trails, and
it's a lot more intimate. I like that. Could go for some thicker drywall to block out some of the exterior noises, but I'm doing my best.
I don't think it's too echoey in here.
I got some sound dampening stuff up. But,
to start, do you buy eggs? start keeping the cartons and nailing them to the wall.
I thought about just getting a bunch of moving pads and nailing them up to just sort of eat a lot of the echoes.
Oh, it's going to get even warmer. But in the wintertime, that won't be a problem.
In the winter, it won't be bad. But I also really wanted to hang up all of these maps. And you lose a lot of valuable art space when you sacrifice it all to noise. But
you could pin them up on the outside of those things.
Yeah, but...
Or on the door. Doors. There's multiple doors. I like this thing.
Yeah, I need more.
Penny
I need
farthing
more
with oranges for wheels.
There's not a whole lot of bicycle tapestries online, I've noticed. But your boy's looking, which means there's a demographic for it. So maybe we'll get a Wheel Friends tapestry someday.
Oh, that'd be nice. Commission that.
Yeah. Other than that, I almost got hit the other day, which
really?
Yeah, it annoyed the hell out of me. It was on the way to the Wednesday evening ride. I had just stopped by Bridge Street Market and grabbed some sushi, and I'm biking Bridge Street, and traffic is backed up because it's like the tail end Art Prize. Yeah. I'm in the bike lane. And this kind of rustier gray car, the person driving decided, I'm over waiting for this red light, or I'm just going to take a sharp right turn right now from a complete stop with no turn signal. Yeah. And so I almost went into their like wheel well.
Oh, God.
And I was like, come on. And they yelled back at me, you come on. And I was like... I was like, you gotta watch your turn, and they're like, you gotta watch your turn. And then at that point I was like, okay, well,
reasoning with an
I'm
idiot.
alive, you're stopped, you're not gonna hit me anymore, you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going, and I'm just gonna brush this off, and you can ride away with the hate in your heart, which is based on the things she said to me as I rode away. She definitely did, but hopefully she passed one of those big watch or look right when turning right or whatever billboards that they had up.
Oh, yeah. All the new cycling billboards up, which I love.
It just drives me nuts, though. Like, you know, you're driving on this road and it's clearly marked with, there's like a solid white line, which you're never supposed to cross, and there are bicycles in it, and the people are just like, I'm gonna drive my car in that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to, like, take into consideration the people who might be in there.
People don't check their blind spots, man.
Yeah.
Like
that should be just the moral of the story is, and I hope she Googled it later and found out that, you know, I think I will look right.
No, she didn't.
No,
she told 1 million people that day that
it's on her Facebook wall.
that some cyclist, like, was a dick and came out of nowhere on the left.
Yeah, no, I was on the right side. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I was in the bike lane.
Oh, then yeah. Wait, so
she cut me off.
So she turned into the bike lane, like,
yeah,
from the right.
So it was right. You know where O'Toole's, that intersection.
Yeah.
It's just a stop and then two straights, and then a block further there's a red light, and everybody was stopped at that red light, and she's going eastbound.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to take a right turn. I think it was on Winter.
Oh, gotcha.
And I happened to be in the bike lane at that exact moment when she decided to take a sharp right turn.
You're going that way. You're going toward town. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I was pretty much over it. I was like, I got to get to the group ride.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be mad about this. Like, although that was right in front of the fire department. So maybe when the firemen would have come out and rescued me. Pick me up in his big handsome arms.
Big strong arms. Whisk you away.
Give me a little kiss on the forehead with his prickly mustache.
I'm pretty sure that's protocol.
Yeah, it's in the book.
It's in the book.
Yeah.
It's in the handbook. Look it up. Give you a tender yet affirming kiss.
Just to say everything is safe now.
Everything is safe now. Because nothing says you're safe like an unsolicited kiss.
Oh, no.
In this climate.
Well, I would still take the big handsome arms, though.
Yeah, I'd take it.
Cradle me.
Yeah, I got nothing to get. I want to feel safe.
So, I guess the big drama we survived is the loss and recovery of Dirty Randall.
Dirty Randall?
I thought we should use his full name.
That's not at all its name at all.
What's your name? What's your
It's Cotton Candy Randy,
Cotton
man.
Candy Randy.
Okay, I don't think I'm... Well,
Cotton Candle Randall.
I don't think it's...
I'm glad you've stuck to
It's not Randall.
the horse racing convention of naming your bicycle.
Oh, yeah, dude. I think I didn't
Coming in out around corner 3, Cotton Candy Randy. I'll let you tell the story.
Well, I don't think I've been on the show since I got that bike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so my brother built me...
Paint us a word picture of Cotton Candy Randy.
So my brother had built me a Fairdale Weekender because I wanted like a light touring bike, like a commuter bike and stuff. And so I consulted him and he kind of led me. I was like on the fence between...
Oh, no, we've definitely talked about this on the show.
Have we?
Yeah, because...
cut this out.
I remember Surly stuff. It has to have come up.
Well, I think... No, we talked about it when I was like shopping for parts, like before it was even built.
Oh, okay.
Like, so we talked about like the... Well, so Smash
I forgot
Cut
this
2...
has been a saga.
Yeah, so Smash Cut 2 July when I actually got the bike that I'd paid to build. But so it ended up being like a bright, almost turquoise blue, and then with like pink accents like on the handlebars and on like the cable housing and stuff. And so
your donut pedals.
Yeah, and then pedals that have like a donut print on them. And my brother, when looking at it, was like... He was like looking at it and was like cotton candy because like he was just thinking that like thinking
right, he named it.
Yeah, he was thinking cotton candy because of the color, like the pink and the blue, because it's like a very cotton candy blue and a very cotton candy pink, and the donut petals have pink on them. And so like he was like looking at that. Then he like kind of had a Steve Brule moment and was just like cotton candy, cotton crandy, cotton candy Randy. Like it just evolved in his head after that. So yeah, so I changed the Randall to just Randy as in like a girl, so it's Randy with an I.
Oh.
Yeah, so I just call her Randy.
Randy.
But yeah, so Cotton Candy Randy.
I guess
or
dirty,
CCR
I guess Dirty Randy is offensive now that
Dirty. That's her stripper name.
I'm sorry, that's your Oh no.
Dirty Randy was when she was stolen.
Yeah. How'd it get stolen, Steven?
Yeah. I don't want to say.
No, Steve, let's have a learning opportunity.
Yeah, so this is a cautionary tale for everyone. So yeah, I got stolen because I didn't lock it up. I was stupid and being careless. But yeah, I got stolen out of the back of the bar, out of Bob's, which I have like an open area in the back. So it was raining, and I didn't want my Brooks saddle to get messed up, so I stuck it behind the stairs in there. So it was like tucked away, but if you had like walked up into the area, then you would see it. But from the street, you couldn't see it. And so I went out to check on it after like 30 minutes to like move it to the place where I usually lock it up because I don't have a bike rack there.
Yeah.
I might invest in one just to have it there because I frequent that bar enough to where they need a bike rack.
A bike rack drive.
Yeah, seriously, they do.
It'll earn. I think it earns the city points in that whole League of American Bicyclists like city ranking.
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah.
More bike racks and more points you get.
Yeah, I think we're like a silver rated city or something.
Oh man,
We gotta get that up.
Gotta get that gold.
Platinum.
There's a platinum.
Hopefully, if there's whatever award is for best, we need it.
We need that.
We need it so bad.
But yeah, so it got stolen out of the back of that, and I naturally had like a freak out.
Yeah.
Which we like checked the security tape and stuff, and I filed a police report and all this shit. And but yeah, I thought it was gone forever. I had totally given up and whatnot. Like I kept looking for it and whatnot, but I thought it was gone. I thought it would be like sold or something like that. But then,
well, first, if we're following like a good procedural like for what to do if your bicycle is stolen, number one, actually report it to the police. A majority of bicycle thefts are not reported to police.
Yes,
they can't help you if they don't know about it. They can't get crime statistics if you don't report it.
Yeah, and so that leads me to another thing that was good for me is take pictures of your bike. And take pictures of you with your bike.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is a big part of it. Because you got to send something to the cops so that they can send that to, like... Not that they get taken that seriously, but the most evidence...
I mean,
like,
shouldn't they...
more evidence, the better.
Because at a certain dollar amount for a theft, you're hitting a felony level, and was that like $1,000?
That's my
so
bike.
I would say that's a pressing issue. But that's just me. I don't know the law, and I'm extremely biased.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. My bike is like worth over $1,000. So like pictures, if you can like register your bicycle, like that's a thing you can do. You can register your bicycle. Like you should do that because people do get them back in like random ways. Like I've like now that mine had gotten stolen, I have like looked into this a lot more. But I found like a lot of like instances of people getting theirs back like after years of being gone. They pop up in another state or something like that.
There's an app I have. It's either called Garage 529 or 529 Garage. I don't really know. These goofy labels. But it's an app that basically lets you have a digital like log book of your bicycles if you have multiple. So you can. It's like, hey, take some photos of your bicycle, you with your bicycle. It gives you a spot to log the serial number, and then I think it sends alerts out if it gets stolen. So your information's just kind of there, and it's like on a local network. Otherwise, what you did, and what I recommend doing, is finding your local bicycle swap group and notifying people there. Because
Number 3.
Yeah, those people got their eyes in a bunch of other different Facebook groups, too. They're in the marketplaces. They're always looking for bikes that pop up.
Which now I'm a part of a bunch of those, so
like... The bicycle swap groups, that's like the insider circle. So when somebody in another marketing group pops up and says like, hey, I've got this bicycle for sale, and somebody in the bicycle group goes, I recognize that one. Yeah. Like, that's how we recovered my buddy Kyle's bike, really? Which I also got to be a big part of, which I don't know why. This is like... I've had 2 friends come to me. Don't come to me. Just like with Joel, don't come to me with your problem. Don't call me if your bike gets stolen, but I do have 100% success rate right now.
Dude. Yeah, that
brings us to...
Posted stuff in all the bike forums and whatnot, like, just to get out there, because it's a very unique looking bicycle. So, yeah, those are all the things that I did to get it back. Told all my friends. Fast forward 2 weeks.
Avery's out playing bike polo. Friend of the show, Avery Miller.
Yeah, seriously.
Avid bicycle polo player, athlete, dreamboat.
Total dreamboat.
Herculean god.
Herculean bike god. Yeah.
The Fabio of bike polo himself, Avery Miller.
I'll get to him, too, in this whole situation.
He shoots me a message, and he's like, hey, I think I saw your buddy's bike. And so I sent him the photos I have of your bike on my phone. For reasons,
because those are there,
and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's the one." And so Avery throws a lock on it, and I message you, and you're at work. Yeah, and I think you can take the torch from here.
Ran down there real quick to throw my lock on it so that Avery could get his back. And so that was when I was gonna get to Avery. He's just like. I text him. I'm like, "Hey man, like I threw my lock on it. I'm gonna stick down here for a while and see, like, call the cops and stuff." Because I called the cops from work, and they were like, you got to be down there for us to do anything about it. Yeah. Like, actually present. I was like, okay, cool.
This is the part that that's really confusing to me. We'll get to that.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't get me started on how the cops handled it. But so, yeah. So, Avery, I told Avery to come down, and he just, like, he just cascades out of the darkness, just like flows out shirtless on like his mountain bike or something, and just like whoosh, like comes out, hair flowing and whatnot. Takes his lock back. We talk about it. I like thank him profusely for keeping an eye out. But and this is why. So people told me when I got a flashy bike, they're like, "That's gonna get stolen because it's flashy." Well, it also got recovered because it's flashy.
True.
That park, it was just like you locked in a park. I should also like mention that. That's where we found it.
Yeah.
Or where Avery saw it was in Canal Park on the riverside, across from some condos. But it was just like out in the middle of nowhere, like out in the middle of everything. I'm gonna say not nowhere, but like just out in the middle of this park. Lots of light. It was very well like lit. And whatnot, but he saw it from like the street, just like the handlebars popping and stuff. But
so if you see a stolen bike, throw a lock on it and call your family.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, call your fam. Like,
Yeah, call the fam.
Let them know what's up. Like, hit the groups and stuff, and be like, hey, I found this. Like,
baby's okay.
Yeah, baby's okay. Like, got that. And so, yeah, so I ran down there. We tried to cut the lock that night. We didn't have the proper tools to cut the lock that night because, and this gave me a good sense of security with U-locks, but motherfuckers are tough.
Yeah.
The conventional tools will not do it.
So you think that person came back and saw, like, later, and saw the bike they thought was theirs now with the Ace Hardware hella big, like, U-lock that gives ample room for tools, removal tools to get in there and take it off. That's why you want a nice tight lock.
Yeah.
So he throws that thing on there. He comes back and he sees another U-lock on it, and his is all cut up. Like, you think he threw in the towel? Like, I'm done. Ain't coming back.
Well, so here's how like it all actually went down, because I left it there for the night when we couldn't cut through it. Like, we couldn't cut through it that night, and I had to get back to work. So I went back to work, and the next day I texted my dad, because who's going to have the proper tools to cut through that kind of thing? A father.
Yeah.
So I text my dad, and I was just like, with no context, I'm like, do you have access to a wireless angle grinder? And being my dad, he's just like, yeah, he's like, yeah, what's up?
Is your dad retired?
No.
Oh.
But almost.
I say, I'd be like, my dad's retired. I bet he'd fucking love to come down and be like,
right.
oh yeah, I got that.
Okay, here's the
you
thing.
need something welded? I'll be right there.
My dad loved it. Like, he got out of work at like 3:30, and then it was like, yeah, I can be down there about like 4:30. I was like, okay, cool. So I woke up to like do that, and yeah, he came down. So that's the second phase of the story, is me actually recovering the bike, which I loved, was because it's like 4 PM, broad daylight in the middle of a park, and me, a long-haired, like, late 20s,
yeah,
and then my 65-year-old father
looking like a burnout surfer.
yeah, exactly. I was like looking like a burnout surfer, and then my dad's just like clean-cut, like, military-looking guy, like, just grind. And so he's like putting on gloves and like
I'm ready for this.
Yeah, exactly. But the funny part was, like, Wood TV had like or like Channel 8 or somebody had like had a van like set up just like 50 feet away.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, there was like a camera set up. My dad's like, is this going to be all right? I was like, the cops know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
but like, so I would think, like, you know, I want a cop to know I'm doing this, because if somebody calls and is like, hey, there's a guy stealing a bike, I want the cops to be like, yeah, we know about the guy with the angle grinder. That's cool. Like,
yeah,
I know they don't give a shit that much.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no way they can pass that memo along to all the operators. I don't even know how that infrastructure works, but it's buck wild that, like, you kind of just get the go ahead to go, like, hey, it's your bike.
Yeah.
Get that dumb lock off of it.
Yeah, so that's the next part that I was going to get to.
By any means necessary. Like,
that's why it's important to report it stolen too.
Yeah.
It's like, so the whole series of events basically was like, I reported it stolen. Then once it was recovered, I called the cops to just be like, hey, is there anything we can do about this? And the cops were like, I mean, you can make another report saying you found it, but we're not going to send anybody out to clip the lock. I was like, stands to reason. Like, you guys got things going on and whatever. So they're like, but if you can recover it, you can recover it. So I'm like, that's a yes. Green light. Q2 me trying to cut through it with like every manner of tool.
All I was looking for, officer.
Exactly. So yeah, there's like a little bit of a Wild West feel to it's like stealing your horseback. Like,
all things considered, you can probably actually cut the police out of the equation, but it is good to report it.
It's good to. The only reason I did is because everybody kept pressuring me to. Otherwise, it would have just been like, I'm taking this.
I just know that a majority of aren't.
Oh, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Like, most people don't care. But it's a scummy ass thing to steal a bike, first of all.
Oh yeah.
It's a horrible thing to do.
That's somebody's mode of transportation.
So I feel bad because I don't know if my bike was sold in that period of time. I don't think it was. Yeah. I honestly think the bum who took it still had it and locked it up. He like went and bought a lock and like locked it up just to like hold on to it maybe.
Yeah.
Because it didn't look like anybody was riding it.
They just peeled off that one sticker and got rid of the bottle cages.
And took the bottle cages off. And they like moved one of like the shifters for some reason. Or maybe they crashed it. That's also possible.
I mean, I guess infinite probability somebody else could have also created the same bicycle as you. But
highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely.
Well, there is another weekender of that color in town, but somebody from the bike group owns it.
They would also need to have a taste for bicycle pedals.
It's the donut pedals that set it apart. Those are like what? They're rare. They're one-offs.
It's the importance of actually tricking out your bicycles.
Yeah, exactly. You got to make it unique, and then take pictures, and then go on photo shoots.
Well, I'm super glad we were able to recover it. So
yes, it was great. I'm very happy.
I think that
happy.
Checks off all of our how to recover a stolen bicycle.
Yeah.
I considered maybe for a segment after this we could do how to make like a bicycle recovery kit, but it's actually the same as a bicycle theft kit.
yeah. Yep. It is. Carry around an angle grinder.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that's going to cut through a bolt thing.
If you have the proper documentation that it's your bicycle and it had been stolen and like
exactly,
you're by all means recover it by any like
if you decide,
it's your property.
If you hear this and decide to steal bikes, then you have no business listening to this show.
We will find you. We will ostracize you.
You will be alienated within the bike community.
I have stolen one bike though.
One bike.
Well, I mean, I was aiding and abetting, I guess, but it it was years ago. It was in Holland, and it wasn't like we took somebody's bike. It had been left in one spot for a long time, so we took what was essentially nobody's bike. It wasn't.
Well, that's
locked
like
up.
rescuing a dog that's like chained up for too long.
It was a rescue. It was
just gonna die there.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And then it was harvested for parts.
Oh, Jesus. So it's like you rescue the dog so you can eat it.
It's a wasteland out there.
Yeah.
This is before I was so ingrained in the bicycle culture. This is when I was a fledgling.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, there was a bike that's left out. I saw on one of the posts because now I look at all of like the missing.
Yeah,
bike
you're super
posts.
Diligent about it. I've noticed like you're sharing a lot of like.
I block most of my friends and family on Facebook. Because I don't want to see the horrible, like, stupid things they have to say. Yeah, and that goes for both sides of the fence. But I just don't like looking at people's personal lives that much. I look at the bike. So the bike stuff is, like, predominantly what my feed is now.
Yeah.
And so I see all of those. So when I see one, I just share it immediately. Like, well, dude, one of them, like, somebody's, like, grandma or, like, mom was missing. So I was like, geez, this has got way more serious than, like, stolen bikes. And she was found, to my knowledge. But, yeah. Like, yeah, I'm super on that. What? It's important.
It is important.
I was like, okay, this moment, what? After my bike got stolen and I was all depressed about it, I kept joking around to my friends at work, like, this is the one event that turns me into, like, a bike thieving supervillain. Like, this is, like, the trauma that, like, will set that off. But then I got my bike back.
Yeah.
And so now it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it was a real bummer when it was gone.
Dude, it was really nice, and I only had it for a couple months. I barely got to know her.
It only just begun. All right, that'll do it for the Wheel Friends podcast. Big thanks to Steven for being on the show today. Thank you for listening. Thank you guys for sharing. And now it's time for some community events for Grand Rapids, Michigan's bike community. So first of all, where are my notes? October 12th through the 15th, it's going to be Halloween 5. That is Grand Rapids' signature bike polo Halloween tournament. It's a day away by the time this episode comes out, or day of, most likely, day of. So yeah, if you're in the Grand Rapids area, make sure you swing by Belknap Park, basically at any point in all this weekend, because you're going to see some real awesome bike polo. If you want to support them and you're not going to be able to travel, be sure to check out their Instagram feed this weekend. They usually have a pretty active Instagram story, so I can no doubt suspect that it's going to be a busy one. So be sure you check that out. After that, Devil's Night Poker Run should be October 30th. It's a Tuesday night, so if you like to get a little party down on a Tuesday night, more details on that later. But it's a poker run, meaning there's 5 stops, and you get cards at each stop, and at the final destination, whoever has the best poker hand wins. And so that's going to be a hell of a riot. Also, Halloween is on a Wednesday this year, which is super convenient because Grand Rapids is a Wednesday evening group ride. So that meets at 7:45 at Veterans Memorial Park every single Wednesday from now until it's too cold to ride, warm enough to ride again, and repeat. So I'm always there if you want to hang out. High five. Other than that, make sure you order a costume to everything I've mentioned, because it's Halloween all month long. Spooky. Well, I think we're at 34 very usable minutes.
Yeah.
Not a lot of
mostly content
extra garbage.
Right there. That's good. That's tight.
Tight 30.
Tight 30.
Yeah.
Wheel friends wheeling up and wheeling out. Ride your bike.
Transform and wheel out.
And wheel out.
No, I think that one's pretty darn copyright.
We're wheeling and dealing at the Wheel Friends podcast. Wheeling and screeling.
Go ride your bike.